Hi guys, it's Megan here with Megabucksavingz. If you guys have been watching my channel or watching any of my videos, I have been remodeling a house that I bought about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. And my intent for the basement bar area that I had in my basement was to completely demo it and put something in that's more functional, because the downstairs is really a livable space that I intend for my teenagers to use as they go through college and become young adults. So I went ahead and demoed the entire basement bar area. It was all done by 2x4s and plywood, and it was once useful for whoever lived in here before, and I am thankful that they were able to do this, and I'm thankful that I'm able to do this project for my children and for anybody who is a future homeowner. But anyway, I used some old cabinets from my old kitchen that I had right here before I demoed. There was a certain section here that I was able to keep three different cupboards, and so I was able to use two of them for now in the basement bar kitchen here. Two of the cabinets are on the far left, and then I bought this middle kitchen base from Habitat for Humanity, and was able to get it for like $26. And then I did also get a cast iron sink that's already been installed here too. I got that from Habitat for Humanity for also like 25 or $26. And I had to get, all new plumbing and stuff like that. I had a plumbing issue upstairs, so I was able to use some of the plumbing from upstairs that I didn't work out upstairs, and was able to use it for this, and had to buy all the other plumbing supplies to make this work, and then a new faucet. And so I actually had to get a new drain and had to get some putty for the drain as well. But I just am trying to repurpose stuff because I think that's a great way to save money, and I obviously have a very tight budget, so I want to make things useful and be resourceful. And also buying from Habitat for Humanity, that's also a great way to put your money into some place that is going back to the community as well. So I did buy some Dollar Tree liner. It's like a marble liner that I put in all the drawers, but I did paint all of them with primer, as you see here. They're not in the best condition, but we're making do with what we have, and they're better than what it was already there before. And again, I was trying to repurpose and reuse and be resourceful, and I went ahead and did buy new paint. I had a black paint. I was gonna do black cabinets, and I was so gung-ho about it, but I second-guessed myself and added some white, and it was like turned out to be a gray kind of color, and I just didn't like it. It wasn't what I wanted for the basement. So I found this really pretty color, cracked pepper. I think it's by Bear, but I'm not sure. But I went to my local Menards and was able to get this cracked pepper color that, because you can get any color really basically at any local store that mixes paint. Now I think this is an older version of the cracked pepper, because it said 2016 and then there was an even older one, but I went ahead and bought that. I just bought a small can of it, of the kitchen base in the Dutch Boy brand, and it's a little bit shinier than I wanted because it is a kitchen base paint. But anyway, I have this like little bar area on the other side that we house our games and things like that in there, and so eventually I want to make this whole area into a useful closet, because there is some water piping and the storage isn't being used the greatest, but I don't have the money and budget for that right now, so we're just gonna make do with what we have and match it with the cupboards that on the other side. So it's kind of bringing all the kind of gray, dark gray kind of color on both sides of the walls, and eventually when I'm done with this, you'll see what I'm talking about. My house is a complete disaster in the basement right now, so I am not going to be doing any view in the basement right now because it's a hot mess. But at any rate, I did go ahead and buy a butcher block for the top of the kitchen, for the countertops, and I used Proventional by Minwax, I think it's called, but I was able to get it at my local under the sink, the stain at least, and then the cabinet I got from the butcher block I got from Menards. Now it is really pricey right now. I think it was quite expensive for a butcher block, but I really wanted that butcher block down in the basement. I just wanted some kind of wood and texture down in the basement because I have intentions to have other wood framed around the not the cupboards, just around in places, and bringing wood out and texture into the basement area itself. And so having the wood here on this side of the basement will kind of bring that all together in the end, I think. So I can't always put things out in how I want things to look and communicate that to people, but I have a vision in mind, and somebody is working with me to help with the plumbing and the walls, but then I'm doing the priming and painting on all the other walls. So I just needed help getting the wall built, getting the drywall built, and the plumbing, because it would have just taken me way too much time, and I really just am super busy right now, and I was able to have somebody help me come out and help me do this. Now, I always think of, if I'm gonna hire somebody to do something, I want to shop around with who is going to be working on my house, but I just want to be able to have people that I trust. So just asking around people that might do side work or do contracting or subcontracting or what have you, it's just always good to ask around. And so at any rate, I am just going to get all of the cabinets and stuff put up and put together, because we're just at that point of the construction or reconstruction, or putting everything back together is kind of where we're at anyway, for this process. And this is kind of what I can do with my time right now, is getting this all put together, because they were just sitting out kind of drying for about 48 hours before I kind of put all these back together. And then my mom and my stepdad had been going through their house and kind of, purging kind of things through their home, and they came across some old door handles that they were no longer able to use or didn't use or what have you. And I had been sending my mom pictures of stuff that I had done in my kitchen upstairs a while back ago, and they were similar to the ones that I had up in my kitchen. So I said, yes, please, 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 please. And so I was able to use enough door handles or door knobs, I guess I should say, for all these cupboards, and then the cupboards that are across the way, where all the games and stuff are stored. So it kind of ties all together, which is really nice and did not cost me a thing. I even had doorknob screws, I guess I should say, because I didn't have any screws that came with the knobs, but I also had some of that on hand from the project that I did up in my kitchen. And so I obviously bought it at one point, but that cost me no money for this specific project because it was already pre-bought and prepaid for prior for another project that was intended for that I was not able to do. But again, I bought this marble type underlayment, whatever you want to call it, for the kitchen cabinets, and was able to put them in the drawers and the cupboards. And I just really liked that. It just kind of made it more upscale, or made it look more clean like. And my daughter found a marble kind of look of a trash can that fits perfectly underneath the sink and is kind of smaller, which, you know, makes her, you know, able to take the trash out when it's full a little bit sooner, so it doesn't get so stinky and gross downstairs in the basement. Basements tend to have a little bit more bugs and draw more bugs, so I just really wanted to make sure to get something smaller for underneath her sink, so that way she's taking out trash regularly and not letting it sit there for a long period of time. So I am cleaning everything off with bleach because I don't know if the Dollar Tree like had these for a while, which would surprise me, but it kind of had like a film on it, and then of course the film from all of the you know, putting up the new drywall or the wall or whatever, these cupboards were sitting downstairs, so I think it just had gotten pretty dusty and gross from, you know, getting all that stuff put together. And so I just gave it a really good clean down before I put those sheets on. And then this cupboard, this kitchen base, came with a shelf as well, which was really nice for storage purposes down there. And then I had these little hinges that I found in my garage. I don't know if I had them in my old garage that were left over from something, or if I bought the house and these were left over from when they moved out and they didn't take the stuff with them. At any rate, I have 3 of these and they're gonna work perfect because I'm not doing any upper cabinets. I am just doing the leftover butcher block that I had from my upstairs kitchen remodel, and I'm using it as a shelf in the basement as they can, you know, my daughter can put cups up there or decorations or whatever, just for extra storage purposes. And so it was really nice because it wasn't stained or anything. So I stained that Proventional color too, and I haven't sealed any of the butcher block yet, but at any rate, I painted these black because I think that'll look really nice underneath the butcher block shelf. So we're at a point where we've gotten the 3 coats of drywall on, all the taping, you know, taping, mudding, sanding and all of that stuff. So that is actually ready to paint this. It's really looking nice. I sanded the last coat down, and so right now, that's not mold, by the way, it is black glue that they used on everything down here. But I need to put a piece of wood up there and to match this side. And I also am not really liking how the texture is on the wall, and so I'm gonna try to match it to the other textures on the wall because I'm not really liking it, and I shouldn't have primed it first, but at any rate, it is where we're at in this process. I have primed also this wall, which is right next to the kitchen as well. I still have to get the bottom layer here done with like a paintbrush or something, because I didn't trust the sprayer because it does have quite a bit of overspray. So I'm just gonna take a roller and kind of roll out the rest, or paint it with a paintbrush. But I want to get this texture right here. It's kind of like I don't know, it reminds me of like a cottagey kind of feel. So I want to just mimic that over here on this wall, and I think that I might have to scrape that down a little bit before I try it. I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to take the mud that we have left over from this project to try to do this and try to get it where I want it to be. But I still have a lot of priming to do. I still have the other side of the basement to do, which is kind of like our gaming and movie theater area, and then I still have this hallway area to do, and this stairway right here going up the stairs. But this is the normal color that or the original color that it was when I bought the house. I have not gotten to this part yet, but this is where I'm at in the process. And if you want to continue watching videos, I will continue to share with you guys along the process of this. Thanks for watching. Bye.